Just a quick overview of my profile. Um, my name is Shobhit, and I represent CBRE today, and I look after our business called Host, which is focused on employee and user experience. And Dirk just talked about the fantastic model of AI and IoT and how that can be applied to various use cases. And today I want to touch upon one use cases which is actually very dear to me because I have been helping a number of organizations and clients over the past 18 years to help evolve their buildings and workplaces to perform better. So today I'm going to talk about how digitally enabled AI IoT powered workplaces can completely transform the way we work. One of the things that I'm sure that is happening right now as you've joined this session is that you're all working from home, or you're seeing your colleagues work from a variety of different locations, which basically means that the world is changing dramatically. How we use workplaces, how we remain productive throughout the day has completely changed over the last 1 year or so. The pandemic has brought about a change in our work style, which was supposed to come in many years, but it has just accelerated that change to a more dynamic hybrid, work environment and work style. Many places, even today, people do go back to offices for work, but we are seeing that predominantly, more than 90% of the people and the staff across the world are either enjoying the fruits of, working from home, or trying to sort of grapple with how do you toggle between your traditional workplace versus you're working from home, as well as working from a third space, which could be, a co-working space or a cafe nearby. So that, throws an interesting challenge to organizations globally. One is, how do we make sure that the employees remain connected, and how do we ensure that the building environment becomes, closer, or comes closer to the end users? And that's something where AI and IoT is playing a significant, mark. We are now also living in a world of omni-channel experience. So with the advent of a variety of different apps that people use globally, we want experiences at home, when we are on the go, or when we are actually working somewhere. So it all requires a connected platform to ensure that employees or users are able to access building services, amenities, and anything that the building has to offer very closely through an app or through a technology. So what we are now seeing is a surge in technologies and platforms that bring the human, digital, and physical element together. And this is where we feel, and we're already seeing that both IoT devices as well as AI is playing a significant part in making that possible. Whether it's smart building technology, or whether it's just bringing different consumer experiences to end users, it is all being driven by modern technology powered by IoT devices and AI. One of the things that we see that, as we see more and more IoT devices and sensors being used, is that buildings are, more data driven. So the way we see how buildings are operated, how they are managed, there is an increasing search towards using, first of all, building data to have, workplaces utilized more efficiently, but also how can we create on-demand user experiences for people who are using those buildings. So it has, a digital twin of a work environment is not, far away from an employee's, handheld device, and that brings these systems closer to an employee. And also that is all made possible because of vast amount of data that gets generated from a variety of different devices that gets installed, and then those proactively change the way in which they use these experiences in buildings and workplaces. There are two ways in which building users or workplace users are reaping the benefit of IoT and AI in built environment. One is that increasingly focused towards enhancing employee experience in the workplace. So you may have seen apps being deployed for buildings, and the apps allow users to book spaces, look for colleagues, look for parking spaces, order food and beverage, a variety of different experiences that is made available and possible through a smarter building technology. But that and also operational. So the facilities managers or property managers of these buildings are now using a variety of different data points, which are basically garnered through IoT devices to enhance and improve building operations. And there's a lot of work that is going on there as well, which is exciting. And I will not go through details of specific use cases within the built environment, but what we are seeing is that four major ways in which building experience and operations are evolving. First of all is around space utilization. So how do we make sure that we know where people are at any given point in day? And this is also important from a safety and security standpoint in a post-COVID world. How space is made available on demand. So that's the second use case where IoT devices can make it easier for people to understand whether a section of the space or a building is occupied, and if it is occupied, how much available and when it is. Then, traffic density, indoor positioning is making it easier for not only people to access services, but for devices and maintenance to happen more proactively. So you will find more safer workplaces, whether it's industrial or office environment, and then buildings to become a lot more, smarter across the board. So it's an exciting world for us going forward. How machine learning is enabling employees to have a better experience. So a very quick slide here where we talk about that there's a lot of data that is collected through different devices that get installed. Buildings are getting smarter, but how can we make AI through machine learning a lot more emotionally intelligent? So what we envision and the work that we're already doing is to try and use data to understand how can your building can be like your mom. It basically should listen to you. It should have the best interest in her heart about your experience and your productivity throughout the day, and how can it sort of make more favorite, personalized experiences made available to you in a much more seamless fashion. So machine learning from the data that gets collected from the IoT devices is making buildings and workplaces smarter and, more importantly, more emotionally intelligent. And we are actually doing a lot of work in CBRE to sort of make that possible, where we are making building systems and services smarter by using IoT AI to make different experiences closer to the end users. And I would like to call upon my colleague Taran, who will give you a little bit more details on what we are doing with CBRE Host to make that all possible.
Hi everyone. So I guess would be not beyond what Shobhit just mentioned to you all, that how buildings turn out to be the moms who take care of everything and bring everything at one place. So what you see in front of you is clearly a very important factor, that a lot of the times those beyond land, brick, mortar, a building brings a lot of things for a developer or an investor. But how do you get everything at one place is a dilemma which everyone tries to solve. So there's so many different kind of services which are available. So what you see in front is a circle of those different elements which a landlord or an investor would try to bring in to give a better experience to the users, starting from visitor management or facial recognition, cafe pass, queue management, automatic number plate recognition or a parking system, bring the building controls, wayfinding. How do you actually do all of these things at one place at one point of time? So this is something which we try to bring in from the front end and connect it to the back end. It's important to understand that these play a very important role from a perspective of a developer who says that, how do I know what's happening inside my building? Those data points connected from artificial intelligence and IoT connections, saying that what decision should I be taking in my building once I have the data points collected at one point? And that could bring in a proof from this slide, which says that I would bring all those services, bring it from the cloud, and use the machine learning, the analytics from the dashboards which bring on the right-hand side of your screen. What you see is those dashboards which bring all those data points at one place. Especially what we are trying to see, that how do amenities and services inside a building can be multi-utilized from a developer or landlord's point, which is beyond a certain lease-only revenue-yielding areas. So they are looking at space booking, or they are looking at increasing those amenities and service where within the building itself, it could bring in more value. And how does it help? You have those data points which give in a lot of information that what do tenants like or not like. The same goes with the patterns, the behaviors, the video analytics, the data. And that's how I think the entire thing, the funnel comes down to one place, how AI IoT in today's time plays an extremely vital role for any building at any point of time. Thank you. Thanks.